You are listening to the Julie Parker Practice Success Podcast, where you discover management insights and strategies for your successful dental practice. There are also interviews with key people in the industry who have advice and services to help you and your team achieve great success. Welcome to this episode of the Julie Parker Practice Success Podcast. Welcome back, Meenie. How are you?
Good, Julie. How are you today?
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
You're so welcome, Julie.
This is the second episode about how dental practices can really effectively use ChatGPT in their practice operation. And today we are talking about how you can use it for general recruitment. Meenie, how often do you and I get questions? Can you help me write a job ad? How do I employ somebody? What do I say in the interviews? All those things around recruitment. Performance reviews. What do I do? What do I do if someone's not performing very well? All these HR issues. We get a lot of questions around this.
Every day, Julie, every day. It's a challenging space for everyone. And, you know, when we're dealing with human resources, we're dealing with human beings. And so it's forever challenging because there's not an answer for every single human behavior interaction, is there?
That's it. And so last time that we spoke about ChatGPT, it was around using it very effectively for professional, accurate communications with dental patients for the receptionist, writing up the standard operating procedures. And there was something else, and I can't remember what it was. Can you remember what it was? No, don't worry about it. So go back and listen to that episode. But today we are talking about, it was brochures, treatment brochures. That's right.
Ah, yes, beautiful.
Customized treatment brochures with all your branding and things. But today we're talking about recruitment. So what I did is, Ameena and I have used ChatGPT a lot, and we speak about the challenges around it and our advice around it, and recognizing that in some instances it wouldn't be ideal. And that's all in the first episode. So we won't bother going through all that again. But one of the new ways I've started to use ChatGPT, and you can do this just within a standard Word document. I've got a transcribing app where I just click on dictate and I speak my request as if I'm speaking to another team member about what I want from ChatGPT. And as you would have heard last time, Ameena and I call her Chatty Cathy. So I'm just speaking to Cathy. This is what I want, Cathy. And this is what I asked of Cathy. And then once, of course, the transcription happens, then you copy and paste that into ChatGPT itself. So it saves on a whole bunch of time of tapping things out on your computer. I said to ChatGPT, I want to write a job ad for a dental assistant for an Australian dental practice. And we want someone specific. We want somebody with great characteristics, that they really love learning and they really love working in a great team. They love caring for and have a lot of empathy for patients, and all the characteristics that I imagine would be a perfect person for that role, because we are all becoming very aware over the years of business ownership how important it is not just to hire on skills, but to hire on character. If anything has to go to the wayside, have the skills go to the wayside, because you've got that character for life, but you can train people to do anything. And so I then said to Chatty Cathy, that's the person that we want. This is the skills that they need, the characteristics that we want. Can you write the job ad? But can you also give me 4 questions to ask during a telephone interview? Give me 10 questions to ask during an in-person interview. Provide to me a letter of offer for the position. Then provide me a welcome letter once that person does accept the job. And then if the person's not working out, I want a performance review, a performance improvement plan. And for all the staff, I want a performance review process structure to use. And if someone didn't work out, I want a termination letter. And then if someone was doing a magnificent job, I also want a letter of acknowledgement. Now, Meenie, if I asked you to provide all of that to me as a client, how long would it take normally without Chatty Cathy?
My goodness, it's a day's work.
It's a day's work, isn't it? Yeah.
It absolutely is. And you're taking full advantage of your personal assistant, Julie, I might add.
I know. She comes cheap, I tell you. It's pretty good. And you know how quickly Chatty Cathy gave me all that documentation? That whole process from recording my request through having all that documentation, it took about
several minutes.
3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. Isn't it crazy? And this is one of the huge benefits that we really want dental practices to be aware of, that it's not about dumbing people down, not at all. I'm learning just by reading things done very accurately all the time on a repetitive basis. You never use it verbatim. You use that as inspiration. You read through, you tweak it to the way you want it. For example, I always say, can you also use UK English spelling, punctuation, and grammar? Because that's part of being professional, that you are spelling words correctly, you're using grammar correctly, etc.
But in 3 to 4 minutes, you've got the template, you've got the bases and foundations to work with, and then you can just adjust it probably in an hour or so.
Yeah, because what's one of the other questions that gets asked? How can we make my team more efficient and productive? Well, now one of the answers is going to be make sure you use ChatGPT, because when you can take a day's worth of work, which would be even longer if it was, for example, your practice manager being interrupted all the way through the day while she's trying to get that stuff done. So more likely a 2-day job.
Yes.
If you can bring a 2-day job down to be a 5-minute job, that's pretty efficient and productive in my book.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say, is that I've called it a day's work, but by the time someone goes home sick and then you have to go and do stereo all day, and somebody asks you to do something else which is important, and the phone gets really busy, a surgical goes pear-shaped, or, runs really late and you've got to fill in for people, it will turn into a 2-day job.
Yeah.
So, and this is forever happening. It's just part of private practice, isn't it? So
it is. And so I'm going to actually share my screen, so people who are watching this one on video on the YouTube, a buddy of mine calls it the YouTubes, and I fell into the trap. Repetition leads to learning. So I'm going to share my screen, and so people can actually see when I transcribed, of course. I'm going to move my things out the way so it's not in my way. Hi, I'm a dental practice consultant. I'd like to write a job ad for a client. The client is a dental practice. And I went through all that I mentioned before. This is the stuff they came back. The ad for the dental assistant. Are you the compassionate, caring, and professional dental assistant we are searching for? At practice name, our patient-centric approach puts the patient first every time. We go above and beyond to create a positive dental experience that leaves our patients feeling confident, educated, and eager to share their experience with friends, family, and the community. We are not just a team, we are a family, but I don't like the word family for describing teams. I think it's been quite overused and abused. So let's go tribe. Let's replace family with tribe. And I could actually say to Chatty Cathy, can you rewrite it, changing the word family to tribe? But we'll just do that easily. We are not just a team, we are a tribe, and we are seeking a qualified dental assistant with Certificate 3 in dental assisting to join us in our mission. But we are looking for someone special. We are looking for a dental assistant who is always seeking ways to improve and learn, intrinsically motivated by a journey towards increased competency and confidence, compassionate, caring, and kind-hearted, with a love for people and animals. A team player who finds joy in working with others, proud of their work and level of professionalism, not afraid to respectfully speak up when they see opportunities for positive change, confident in speaking to patients, team members, and managers alike. In return, we offer a fantastic onboarding process, a pay range between $25 and $35 per hour, depending on experience and characteristics. Continuous learning and training opportunities, a clear path for progress, and the chance to be part of a wonderful tribe that values both giving and receiving satisfaction and happiness. If this sounds like the perfect role for you, apply today and join us in providing exceptional dental care and positive patient experiences. It's a pretty good job ad, isn't it?
That is very good.
And then if you said, oh, no, I want to add all the responsibilities in, you say, oh, can you also add all the responsibilities in there as well? Or I want more said about this particular area. You just ask ChatGPT, and it comes back with revisions for you consistently. The telephone interview questions that it has suggested are, can you tell us about your qualifications and experience as a dental assistant? It's always good to have someone speak about their history. It gets you to know them really well. How do you handle anxious and nervous patients? Can you provide an example of a time you worked well in a team? How do you stay up to date with the latest dental technologies and techniques? Some in-person interview questions. Can you give us an example of how you have contributed to creating a positive patient experience? That's a great question. How do you handle constructive criticism from colleagues or managers? Can you describe a situation where you identified an opportunity for positive change in your workplace and how you approached it? How do you prioritize your responsibilities during a busy day? Isn't that a super question? That's great, isn't it?
That is a super question.
Can you provide an example of a time when you went above and beyond for a patient? Another great question. I'm loving all of these. How do you maintain a high level of professionalism in your role? I'm just so excited. I haven't read these yet. I've just thought I'd read them throughout the podcast episode. I'm so excited by some of these questions. That's a terrific one too, isn't it?
They are. They really get, will dig deep into the candidate to see if they can answer with confidence.
Yeah. And if they're saying all the right things, imagine yourself in that role of interviewer with this candidate, and you'd be getting more and more excited. You'd be thinking, this is the one. Oh my God, this is fantastic.
Impressive.
How do you handle conflicting priorities or unexpected situations in the workplace? Can you tell us about a time you had to communicate a difficult message to a patient or team member? How do you contribute to a positive team environment? What motivates you to continually learn and improve in your role? Beautiful, magnificent questions. Thank you, Chatty Cathy.
She's earned herself a pay rise today, Julie.
That's right. She gets a bonus today. And then it delivers us that letter of offer. We are delighted to offer you the position of dental assistant at our practice. We were impressed with your qualifications, experience, and the positive qualities you demonstrated during the interview process. Your starting hourly rate will be such and such per hour. This one's good. If they're answering all these questions beautifully, they're getting the $35. No worries about that. Further details regarding your terms and conditions of employment will be provided in your contract. We pride ourselves on our patient-centric approach and our close-knit team. We are excited for you to join our family and contribute to our mission. Please sign and return the attached acceptance form. Once they return that and you want to provide to them a whole bunch of other documentation, which is important when we're onboarding new recruits into our dental team, stuff that Ameena and we have a whole raft of documentation on our website in our free downloads area and tools area. So go to dentalbusinessmastery.com.au to have a look at those. But
a really prepared new team member makes for a really smooth transition, and they feel welcomed and all those sorts of things, much more comfortable and confident coming into the place. So having a really good onboarding process is very, very important.
It really is. And we recently, with our practice managers program, have moved through the HR module. And that's where we do describe the onboarding process that we suggest. And after that, meaning I was listening to another podcast or watching a free webinar from America or something like that. And what they said, I thought, oh, that's a really good idea. If you do have a very well-structured onboarding process, note that in your job ad, because it's a very good thing to promote. It's an indication of your level of professionalism and your level of respect and support you're going to be offering that new person coming on board. So for the right person for the role, it's going to really speak to them.
That's right. And another thing that they talk about with advertising for candidates, to your practice, a lot of the time, the job ads are written about everything the practice wants or the business wants. We want this, we're looking for that, but it's not really speaking the language of the job seeker. So there's got to be an element of what's in it for me. People are out looking for a position from the mindset of what benefits are there for me in this role. So they need to know, what sort of income they're looking at, what sort of workload they're looking at, what sort of hours, what sort of benefits, what sort of learning and progression there is for them, all those sorts of things.
That's it, exactly. And they want to read that, here, you're going to enjoy working here. If you are a fun, happy person, you will enjoy this fun, happy group. Yeah. So we are thrilled to welcome you to our family. Let's say tribe. You can say family if you like. Our team is excited to have you on board, and we look forward to working together to provide exceptional dental care and positive patient experiences. Your role as a dental assistant is integral to our mission, and we are confident that you will make a valuable contribution to our practice. As part of our commitment to your professional development, we will provide you with continuous learning and training opportunities. We have a clear path for progress and are committed to supporting you every step of the way. Once again, welcome to the team. Here's to a successful and fulfilling journey together. Can you imagine being a new team member receiving this letter, Meenie?
Delightful.
Delightful. You'll be doing backflips. I've chosen the right place. This is magnificent. And it's helping put me in the right frame of mind to turn up big time and learn and grow with this wonderful team.
I think it also gives that impression of these people really do things to a high standard. So the expectation of me when I come there is to do things to a really high standard.
Absolutely. And I was speaking to someone just recently, and they've got a team member on board, and they are very good with patients, and they are getting pretty good with most of their tasks. But the one thing is that they refuse to receive any feedback. They've had courses bought for them and they don't do anything about it. And they've even said, I know how to do my job. I don't need any extra advice, which is such a bizarre thing to say. And so when you are looking, and it puts you in a very difficult position as a practice when you've got somebody who is not just avoiding learning or improving, but has said they don't need to. End of story, full stop. Stop talking to me about it. And when you are recruiting, it is always a good idea to have part of your recruitment process making sure that you're getting applicants who do love to learn and grow, because that's where improvement comes from. And every business wants to improve, needs to improve. It's inspiring to improve. And so that means the only way the business will improve if the people who are in that business are improving. And so therefore you want people who love that space, because there are so many of them that love that space, rather than those that are going to really be a barrier and possibly kind of tainting the other team members against wanting to learn and grow as well, because it makes them feel more comfortable with their personal identification.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And it's such a small mindset about thinking that you have achieved this place where there's no further learning and growing available to you because you were so all over it. I think probably the most successful, educated, talented people in the world are the people that would say, you will never stop learning and growing. I'm not there yet. You will never be there.
That's it. And this is one of the reasons why, because a lot of us have these subconscious barriers that come up for ourselves. This is the reason why at the start of every one of our courses, at the start of every one of our consulting programs, we take people through our module of understanding how we learn and grow. And then once you get to the other end of that, you start to identify, I can see where I resist learning and growing. And now I know how to overcome that. So I'm now open to all the learning and growing that we can possibly achieve together. So that's a wonderful welcome letter. So then I said, can you please provide us a performance improvement plan? Again, one that Meena, you and I have already. So people are welcome to email us for our performance improvement plan. But this is what Chatty Cathy came up with. And I said, this person has started to run late a few mornings a week, and they are not doing all the tasks that they normally get done every day. So it's got the employee name, the position, and the date. Summary of performance concerns. It has been observed that there have been consistent issues with tardiness and a neglect of normal daily duties. The following specific concerns have been identified. 1, arrival time has been consistently, the employee has been consistently arriving a few minutes late on many mornings. Number 2, completion of daily duties. The employee has not been completing all the assigned daily duties. Objective of the performance plan. The objective of this performance improvement plan is to provide clear and actionable steps to address the above concerns and to support the employee in meeting the performance standards of the practice. Action steps. Number 1, punctuality. Employee name is expected to arrive at the practice on time every day. It is recommended that the employee allow extra time for travel to ensure punctuality. Number 2, completion of daily duties. Employee is expected to complete all assigned daily duties. A checklist will be provided to help keep track of those daily tasks. Timeline for improvement. The performance improvement plan will be in effect for 2 weeks, starting from such and such a date and ending on such and such a date. Support. The practice is committed to providing the employee in improving performance. The manager will be available to provide guidance and answer any questions. Review meeting. A review meeting will be held on this particular date and time to assess progress. Employee acknowledgement. I, employee name, have read and understood the performance improvement plan and am committed to taking the necessary steps to improve my performance. The signature of the employee, signature of manager. Again, how much time was spent on this? This particular part of it, mere seconds. And look what you end up with, Meanie.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So then I said, what about a performance review structure for all the team members? We're going to go through a performance review process for all the team members. And we'll add all this into the show notes of the show. But there is a 7-step process of and how many minutes you should be spending on each section of that performance review process. And so you do an introduction where you welcome the employee and create a comfortable atmosphere. Outline the purpose and the structure of the meeting. That should take 5 minutes. Then we move into review of past performance. This should take between 10 and 15 minutes. Discuss the employee's performance since the last review, highlighting achievements and areas for improvement. Use specific examples to illustrate points. Ask the employee for their perspective and self-assessment. Number 3, discussion of specific competencies. This should take between 10 and 15 minutes. For dental assistants, discuss clinical skills, patient communication, teamwork, and attention to detail. And then it moves through if it was for the receptionist and the practice manager. Use a competency framework or rating system to assess performance in these areas. And meaning we've got the JPPS staff remuneration matrix, which can provide a wonderful structure framework to be able to assess the performance of team members. So jump onto that on our free tools and resources in the website if you'd like to know more about that.
It's a golden tool. Go and check it out.
Golden tool. It's a golden tool. We're not charging for it, which is exciting. We've decided not to charge for it because we think it's so golden. Number 4 element of this performance review process, meeting structure, goal setting, 10 to 15 minutes. Collaboratively set SMART goals being S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, T for time-bound. Goals for the next review period. Discuss how these goals align with the practice's objectives. Identify any support or resources required to achieve those goals. 5th element, professional development. This will take 5 to 10 minutes. Discuss opportunities for professional development and training. If you need any of those, just go to our website as well. All of our online courses, there's heaps going on. Identify any areas where the employee would like to expand their skills or take on new responsibilities. The 6th element, feedback from employee. This takes 5 to 10 minutes. Ask the employee for their feedback on the practice, management, and their role. Discuss any concerns or suggestions for improvement. And then the 7th element is the conclusion, which takes about 5 minutes. Summarize the main points discussed during the meeting. Confirm next steps, including any action items or follow-up required, and thank the employee for their contribution to the practice and express confidence in their ability to achieve the goals. Provide documentation, it says, and what to do as a follow-up. Isn't that beautiful?
Absolutely wonderful stuff.
And as you read through it, you can identify, oh, that one's not relevant for us so much, or I'll change that little bit. But as we say, this is one of the most effective starting points you can achieve in such a short period of time.
A template where 90% of the work's done for you.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
More.
That's a good way of saying it. Yeah, you're creating stuff where 90% of the work is done for you. The 10% of the work's really important that you do to customize it, make sure it's accurate things, but that 90% is already done. We also also thought it would be a good idea, and we've done it. We've already generated a letter of termination as well, and we'll include that in all the show notes as well. But
I just like to be prepared.
Yeah, that's right. But we thought what a great thing to do as well is let's pretend everything's working beautifully and you've got a team member that does all the good things and you want to provide to them an impromptu letter of acknowledgement. And I said, this person is a receptionist that's really great on the phone with patients, and why I thought she was great on the phone with patients. So it says, Dear Ameena, subject, acknowledgement of exceptional performance. I can't imagine you ever receiving these.
Oh, is this just a real letter that you copied?
Yeah, I contacted one of your past bosses.
Yeah.
So this starts with the calling card that you've used ChatGPT. So Ameena and I tend to suggest don't use it. I hope this letter finds you well. So you get your own personalized greeting, but then you move into the letter itself. I am writing to formally acknowledge your exceptional performance as a receptionist. It has come to my attention that you consistently display a truly delightful manner over the telephone, always affording our patients the patience, compassion, and time they deserve. Your ability to remain professional, polite, and friendly while never rushing our patients is commendable. This exceptional quality has not only left me with a strong sense of confidence in your capabilities, but has also set you as the exemplar of what mastery looks like in this integral role. The positive impact you have on our patients is immeasurable and plays a vital role in creating a positive and welcoming atmosphere at our practice. Your contribution is an integral part of our mission to provide the highest level of care and service to our patients. Once again, thank you for your hard work, dedication, and commitment to excellence. We are incredibly fortunate to have you as part of our team. Please keep up the excellent work.
Oh, they've definitely copied one of the letters that was written from
I tell you what, reading through that again, I hadn't read it before. It started to make me want to cry. I started to feel emotional. It's beautifully written, isn't it?
It is a beautifully written letter.
Can you imagine receiving it? I don't know why I never received a letter like that.
I've got a drawer full here, right here.
Well, on your hard drive, because there's so many of them.
I'm not sure why you're even laughing. And some of them, there was no hard drives when they were written.
So sometimes as practice managers and owners, we can fall into that trap of seeing people be really good at what they do and thinking, well, that's what they're paid for, and not making any comment about it. But Ameena, you and I are huge fans of rewarding the behaviour you want repeated, because it does two things. One, this receptionist who got this letter is there's no question in her mind that the way she's on the phone is exactly the way that is really appreciated, and she should always be that way, that she is reaching success in her role, in that aspect of her role. And so she'll just continue doing that, because what a beautiful reward for it. But the second thing as well is that the other team members, if they're aware of you acknowledging this wonderful performance that, yes, they're paid for, but you want this person to continue doing it proudly, passionately, but all the other team members start recognizing, oh, the way she is on the phone, that's who I should look up to and do it like her, because that's what success looks like here at this practice.
Yeah, you definitely feel, very good about receiving this type of letter, and just also that boosting confidence that makes you want to keep going and striving for excellence, doesn't it?
Yeah. And so sometimes we may have the idea of doing something like this for our team members, but we're not quite sure how to tackle it and how would I word it. And now the next busy thing has happened and the next busy thing has happened, and now it's on the back burner. It never gets done. So ChatGPT can help you get these wonderful ideas of yours that are rattling around in your head done straight away, really efficiently, really productively, very professionally, and get these sort of things done. And so that is a potentially 2-day process brought down into 4 minutes. Add on time for you to modify it yourself, put into the Word documents and things. I reckon the whole thing may only take an hour and you've got everything set to go. So ChatGPT can be enormously helpful as a nice additional employee. Like, she's an employee of ours, Meanie.
Yeah, and I find it so great just helping you to find the words, to get started.
That's it.
And sometimes even the structure.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So we hope that this has been another helpful episode of the podcast and helps you open your eyes up to the potential that ChatGPT can have in your practice in a very positive way that helps you be more efficient and far more productive as well. Thanks, Meenie, for sharing your insights.
Thanks for having me, Julie.
Next time, we're going to talk about how it can really help with marketing your practice as well. So stay tuned, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye. If you enjoyed this podcast, then I encourage you to head over to Ameena and my website, dentalbusinessmastery.com.au. You will find all the information that you need if you would like to gain our assistance in helping you and your team achieve great success. We've got online courses, consulting programs, the club membership. We also have a whole bunch of tools and resources that are available for free that will help you achieve your practice goals. If you would like to find out more, you can also email us directly at info@dentalbusinessmastery.com.au. Thanks so much for listening.